Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to F1 Podcast. This is episode 122 and it's one of 3 videos we're going to do today. We're going to do the Hungarian review now, Max.
Yep.
And straight away afterwards we're going to talk about BMW and also a certain German who's joined the Ferrari team, Max. But let's talk about the Hungarian race first up, mate. What did you think of the race? Did you enjoy seeing Lewis winning that Grand Prix?
Mate, I did, and I think a lot of you enjoyed seeing Lewis and McLaren back up the pointy end of the grid, which is great. First win for Martin Whitmarsh as team principal, which was fantastic. I mean, Lewis pretty much controlled the race from start to finish, but it was kind of weird to see McLaren starting near the front of the grid again, and then just blasting off into the distance once Alonso had a little mishap.
Mate, I thought it was great to see Lewis on the top step of the podium. He was so happy, and I think it's funny that he hadn't got anywhere near the podium all year, and suddenly he's won the Grand Prix, and he won it from a Ferrari. So we've got from McLaren and Ferrari fighting it out. Kimi ended up finishing, I think, 11 seconds down the road from Kimi, so from Lewis.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's back to the old school.
It's almost situation normal again.
Yeah.
You know, Ferrari and McLaren battling it out. And great to see Webber get his 5th podium in 6 races, I think it is. So another good points haul for M. Webber Esquire. But look, I was thrilled for Lewis. He's put up with a lot of shit this year. We all know that the McLaren's been uncompetitive, but it and the Ferrari seem to have been coming into their own. They've had their incremental updates and all this sort of thing, and it's finally paying dividends. But albeit probably a little bit too late in the season now, I guess, but good to see them up there nonetheless, and it just makes the championship that much more interesting.
It does, yeah. This championship's really getting exciting, and let's talk quickly about Turn 1 at the start of the race, where we had a lot of cars going into Turn 1, and obviously Kimi and Vettel had their little coming together. And for me, mate, that was just purely racing incident. You've got 4 cars side by side. Someone's going to pay the price, and unfortunately it was Sebastian Vettel. But you know, pure racing incident, and this having investigations about that incident, mate, to me is stupid. Absolutely stupid.
4 into 1 don't go. We know that, okay? But what are we meant to do? Form an ordinary procession behind one another, are we? I mean, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, they're there to go racing.
Well, this is it. I mean, only a couple of weeks back we had Webber smash into the side of Barrichello, you know, and that was that. This time we've had you know, a coming together of Kimi and Vettel. Okay, Vettel came off second best in this time, but I mean, let's not forget that, you know, Vettel's had his fair share of smashing into people as well.
Yes, yeah.
And you know, it swings and roundabouts. I mean, this is racing. It was a racing incident, and I'm glad that common sense prevailed at the end. And you know, Kimi and Ferrari got a little warning and you know, a bit of a reprimand. But let's go racing. I'm glad it's fine.
When it came up Car 4 under investigation, I was just shaking my head, thinking, "What the bloody hell's going on?" Yeah, and I'm glad that you know, that nothing's happened as a result. And similarly, actually, when Webber was released into the path of Kimi at the pit stops.
That's right, the fuel nozzle.
And the BBC commentators were saying, "Oh, maybe there'll be some ramifications of this," and I was just screaming at the TV, "No!" Like,
he didn't hit him. He didn't touch him. He didn't come out in front of him. So why should we?
Yeah. Do you think the stewards maybe are just a little bit sensitive at the moment, Max?
Maybe.
I mean, there was no investigation on that. Let's be fair.
Yeah.
But just sort of, I was just watching it thinking, no, please, can we just let these guys race? I mean, you know, okay, it was a little bit tight. Okay, the 2 of them were close, but you know, that's racing.
Yeah, I think they're probably also a bit gun shy, mate, with what happened to Massa over the weekend, and you know, this is another, you know, could have potentially caused an accident, but it didn't. Okay, and it wasn't Mark Webber's fault in this case, and whether it be Mark Webber, who we're talking about, or any other driver, I'd have exactly the same thing to say. It wasn't the driver's fault. He was given the green light from the lollipop man. Off he went. There was a slight issue. At the end of the day, no one got hurt. There was no accident, and Kimi got out ahead, and fair enough.
Alright, well, the other big incident was Alonso's wheel fairing and then the wheel itself coming off, and there has been a penalty about that, Max. And a lot of you guys have made some comments about this already, and you know, I just want to say first of all that I think that the 1 race penalty for Renault was extremely harsh. because not only does it penalise the team, but it also penalises the driver, or drivers in this case, both drivers. And I think that it would have been much more appropriate to make a team-based penalty, so a big fat fine, maybe €1 million or something like that, and maybe no constructors' points for a few Grand Prix or something like that. So the driver still earns points, but to take the European race away from Alonso, and the fans, and for us to see Alonso race around Valencia, I think is completely wrong, mate. And I thought that penalty was just fucking stupid.
Yeah, it was definitely harsh. There's no doubt about that. I mean, and Formula One's been through its scandals this year and the like, and here we are, a former world champion through no fault of his own, is being penalised and is now no longer to race in his home Grand Prix. I think is quite frankly ridiculous. A fine or a points deduction, perhaps, as you were saying, Pep, or they don't accumulate any constructors' points for this race, whatever the case may be. But to turn around and ban a driver for something that he didn't do, through no fault of his own whatsoever, I think the FIA, should the ban stay, we realise it's under appeal, but should the ban stay, I think they've done themselves and the public a great injustice by not having Fernando Alonso lying up on the grid with 3 other world champions. It would have been if he had have raced in Valencia.
Yeah,
missed opportunity.
Just stupid. And Buddha, my dog, obviously is not happy about it either, Max.
Very angry.
Yeah, it's just stupid, and now we've got this 4-week gap to Valencia, and Alonso effectively doesn't have a drive for his home Grand Prix. So, as you said, mate, it's under appeal. Hopefully, sense will prevail, and Renault will be able to go to Valencia and race, mate.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
All right, guys. Well, Felipe's doing well, so we're really happy to see that Felipe's recovering well.
Hopefully, to be released from hospital on Monday. So, fingers crossed that is the case.
And as I said at the start of the video, we're going to do a couple more videos after this. But before we go, we just wanted to say thanks to Phil and Johnny at Slot Shop. We were slot racing this morning.
We were.
Max, and they looked after us. Even gave us a couple of Renault caps, mate.
We did.
And the intro, the F1 podcast logo, Phil did that as well. So thanks very much, Phil.
Yeah, thanks guys for looking after us.
His name's Scaife2 on YouTube. So thanks, mate. And we'll see you very, very soon for the next video.
See you guys.
See ya.
Bye.